spacecraft. So that should be our major focus now. Something that is durable and more efficient. In addition, nanotechnology offers various means to improve the transportation infrastructure, advances in nanoscience. Now, as we are talking, we have started seeing batteries that store more energy that they are now using for electrical cars. It's as a result of invention of nanotechnology, which we can take it up. We can take it up so that we produce batteries that are made of nanomaterials, and in this country, we can use it to power car without making use of fuel. Work. So we have seen some of them that are coming up gradually. Then, number two, electronic sensors. You can use it in sensor, and this is very, very important. And that's why what we are really lacking in this country for surveillance, for tracking down the kidnappers, for doing a lot of things. So, and these sensors, they are very tiny. You will not know that they are there. Most of the new cars they are bringing in, other than the older one, like all these that they call muzzle and the likes, they have sensors. I just dictated of it, was it 2 weeks ago? When I car doesn't do it before. Once, second time, third time before it starts. But it's only once. They come, I call the electricians, they look at the, what's it called it? The kick. They said they will change the brush, do this, do that. I say change the entire kick. We change it, the same thing. They say cold start. Cold start. Okay? They bought the cold start. We put the cold start there the same way. Nothing happened. And I said that, but nowadays we have some equipment that diagnose cars. Let me take it there. Let them diagnose it. You cannot believe. By the time they diagnose where the problem is, sensor on top of the engine. They didn't replace it, just remove it, work on it, service it, clean it, and whatever. He put it there. Once, zoom, it started. Till today. Look at the roundabout I've gone through. So that's why sensors is very, very important that we need to look into. So with the current advancement in nanotech, sensors with very minute features can be printed on the flexible rolls of plastic. They can be manufactured in large quantities at a very low cost. These sensors can be used to continuously monitor the health of a critical infrastructure, to monitor bridge. When bridges begin to vibrate, to know the strength, the tensile of it, and to know where the problem is coming from. If the sensor is brought to the place, it will sense it. And will be able to say that this is where we're having a problem with the bridge. And then from there, they can now fix it up. Because bridge is part of collapse. The same thing with building. And what brought about collapse of bridges, brought about collapse of building, or collapse of road, or road failure, is as a result of the host materials. That is the soil, the rock that is underneath the surface of the earth. So if all these things is not looked into properly, you will not know the level, if it is road failure, of the depth you need to excavate before you bring in maybe granite and what have you that will fortress the place. The moment there's a clay in a place, clay during the rainy season is swell up when it's take in water. During the dry season, it shrinks. Year in, year out, whether it is a building, you build it on top of a clay, the same way it will come. Year in, year out, string, fat, string, fat, string, fat. it will tilt the building. You begin to see cracks, both inside and outside. You begin to see the peeling of the tiles. So that means the foundation has a problem. So all these things can be made use of. So you can use that also to monitor aircraft, the sensors. So that when there's going to be a problem, they'll quickly know and they can divert the plane to somewhere else. Or they can give a signal that will make it to do the necessary thing. In military applications, that is another future place we can make use of nanotechnology, military applications. Most of our military men, they have been wasted, and they are still wasting them. We pray that it shall stop, and God will help them. But everything is not prayer. We believe in prayers, but there's something science has to come in to work out and do. Because by the time they tell them, say, hey, red alert, there's a kidnapper is also placed. Please come over. There should be something to tell them and x-ray those places. Maybe about 10 to 20 kilometers. Like the way you use CCTV here, they should be able to see. Are there any people, any person in the bush that are hiding somewhere before they jump out? By the time they jump out, they jump out for 5 minutes, they will come out from the bush. When their vehicle sprayed them. And that's how we lost them. So in military applications, nanotechnology, military intelligence, smart sensor technology that I've just mentioned now. Smart sensor technology in which nanosensors are integrated with neutral networks. How to look at signals. Sensors can be used to detect harmful chemicals. You can use it in biology and agriculture, and biological weapons, damages to military equipment, nature and the magnitude of potential risk when explosive detected. Nano-sized drones that can be used in surveillance, remote detonations, and communication, that it can communicate, to name a few. These drones can have long battery lives with nanosensor that allow facial and object detection. We need to introduce it into the military. I have a sketch of nanomaterials in military applications. You can use an explosive and propellant in nanorobots, sensors and transducer, in MEMS and MEMS, intelligent apparel system to give them intelligence about what is going on, smart materials and the likes. There are many applications that cannot be limited to the laws of motion that humans use in their daily lives in the field of transportation and movement, such as walking, cars, trains, and planes. Go to the next slide. Yes, number 4, security. Security. We have been complaining about security, no security here, no security there. For future, now the technology can play a greater to solve this problem. Nigeria Security NST estimates that between January 1st and June 30th of year 2021, about 2,944 Nigerians, they have been reported kidnapped. This is already more than the entire figure reported for 2020, which is 2,860. So you can see down the increase. For 23, for year 2022-23, you know how much people must have been. And adding to the estimated $18.34 million in ransom payments. This worrying statistics does not show any signs of slowing down. It's continuing. Hence, the need for holistic approaches to nipping this anomaly in the bud. Nanotechnology are excellent services in the use of biometrics in these premeditated kidnappings, through the analysis, thorough analysis of samples from crime scene. Not that alone, through this approach, culprits can be tracked down using the faintest but highly reliable forensic. Some universities have started all these forensic courses. In my university, we just had a NUC that came for the resource, and we have been approved of it. So the university here can equally ask for it. But those are the new areas that people are going into so as to solve some problem of this security. And the forensic course, it cut across both the biological, the chemical, everybody will lecture there. People of biological sciences, from the chemical sciences, from the physical sciences, so everybody will be involved in the lecturing, medicine, testing of the blood, and the fingertips, and the likes. Graphene. This is also important. This is another promising application of nanoscience in the utilization of graphene, another supermaterial using passive nanostructure. What is graphene? It's a nanomaterial. That is the level they are over there now. Other than just normal nanomaterial, nanoparticles, they step up to graphene. It's a particular nanomaterial that comprises a solitary sheet of carbon of the thickness of one atom. It is extraordinarily hard and has promising properties with regard to electrical conduction. It is 200 times stronger and 6 times lighter than steel. That's graphene. Lighter than steel. 6 times stronger. It is a superconductor of electricity, not ordinary conductor of electricity, and can endlessly bend without breaking. You twist it, it will not break. So it can be used in solving Nigeria electricity if it is accepted. The future holds immense possibility with respect to graphene-based technologies such as flexible solar cell for energy generation, flexible screen in smartphones. Graphene can also be used in fabricating biomedical sensors, biosensing, and therapeutic usage due to outstanding aqueous processability and other functional surface properties. We are going to the last one, which is very important as well. We all know that we have problem of electricity in the country that are yet to solve. Today you heard that there's a problem with the grid. This is our national grid. It has dropped, this and that. Even if they generate electricity, to transmit the electricity is problem. Because when you are transmitting electricity, there are always losses due to heat. So, because when you are transmitting electricity, after the generation, what you do is that the voltage, you step it up. And when you step up voltage, you reduce current. That means the current flow will be lower because they are, what's it called, reciprocal, inverse, proportional. Okay? So when you generate voltage, you have to increase it using step up. So that voltage will now go to where it is going to be distributed. On getting to where it's going to be distributed, what do? We step it down. You step down the voltage so that the current can come up, which is the one needed, 220/240 voltage. So the current can come up and you can now distribute it. But where you have generated the electricity, you transmit and distribute. There are a lot of hiccups of the kind of we are using, and they are still using up to date. So most of this has to be changed or worked on so that we can get the actual electricity that is coming from the generation. So the irregularity and the inconsistency of electricity supply had been a major problem for the populace and in some part of the world, especially in developing countries. And that because of electricity generation, because of energy, many companies, many industries, they are packing up. Our government, they are spending millions of naira to people to come and establish. But those that have established, that have been here for years, they can't survive it. They are going. Due to only one thing, electricity. So, many of them happen to result into generating plants. I was discussing with somebody some time ago. I told them, they said that, in fact, the backup of generator or generating plant. I said, no, electricity supply is now backup to our generator. Am I correct? It's a backup now. Because if you say something is a backup to other, then you have electricity maybe 20 hours, and you want to spend 24 hours, then you can now use your generator to back it up. But you can't get it. Maybe 4 hours or some days you can't have it at all. So you have to use your generator, generating plant. So electricity has now become what? It has become a backup. That's the reverse is the case. The increasing demand of energy by every sector of the economy in the developing country, there is need to generate more energy for a sustainable and reliable economy in which nanotechnology is the solution. Solution to generate, to transmit and distribute a sustainable, suitable, renewable, free and reliable energy, which is one of the most important scientific challenges of the 21st century. We all like electricity plays a very socio-economic, technological development of every nation. The shortage of power has been a great barrier for both commercial and domestic usage in Nigeria. Industries and households have tremendously engaged in using generating sets so as to cover for this shortcoming in power supply. Incomplete combustion of the fuel using in generating set leads to production of carbon monoxide, which is emitted to the atmosphere. This increases the amount of greenhouse gases which are linked to climatic change and global warming. Fine. When there's no electricity, the next thing we resort to is to buy fuel. In a particular compound, maybe where they have 6 flats, all of them have generating set. When this one horn is, another one horns is so. Another one that is, some will be silent, but there will be someone, will be making noise. You'll not be able to sleep. You'll not be able to compare. You'll not be able to do whatever. And the smoke being given out is carbon monoxide. Injury. It can injure life and it can kill. It has killed a lot. We have seen a family where they put on gen without knowing that the inside they did not lock the window. The window was open. And through there, the smoke enters. And by the time they woke up in the morning, forget it, all of them gone. 4 families, 6 families. I've seen such a lot like that. So Nigeria currently has 14 generating plants which supply electric energy to the national grid. Of the 14 generating plants, 3 are hydro and 11 are thermal, that is make use of gas and steam. The national grid is made up of 4,008.2 kilometers of 33 kV line, 6,300 plus of 132 kV line, and 6,000 transformer capacity, and also 8,009 transformer capacity at 132/33 kVA. So all this put together, transmission. We are talking about transmission now. In transmission, there are problems due to some sections of the grid. Some sections of Nigeria grid, they are outdated. They are. Not that alone. Have many that has what's it called it? That lack fund to modernize, maintain, expand the network. There's regular vandalization of the lines because no monitoring, no surveillance. Everybody can just go there, and they don't put sensor to note somebody that is in the bush at a particular time, or some plan it so that they can go there, rescue or what have you, or even put some dangers on this national grid that will find it difficult to vandalize. Associated with low level of surveillance and security on all electrical infrastructure. The technologies used generally deliver very poor voltage stability and profiles. There's a serious lack of required modern technology for communication and monitoring. In future, if the advent of nanotechnology is employed, there will be solution. Technology will help to improve the efficiency of electricity transmission wires. There are numerous nanomaterials that can be used and other nano-related applications relevant to electricity transmissions. So if they make use of these materials, so it will help to reduce the obsolete grids that we have. We have something called aluminum conductor steel reinforced, that ACSR wire. It's a kind of wire that is cable that can be used to replace most of these useless bastardized cable that they said the voltage is passing through. That most of the voltage, they are being lost as they are going through for a long time. So for the distance, they lost out. So this aluminum conductor steel is the standard overhead conductor against which alternatives are compared, which is designed, it is designed to do what? To resist heat sag. So the problem of not getting electricity is because of this loss when it is coming, and also the cable that they are making use of. But making use of these nanomaterials now, it will reduce the heat sag. And when it reduces it, then enough current, enough voltage will pass and will be distributed at the end of the more than twice, and provide more than twice the transmission capacity of conventional conductor of similar size. More than twice. Electricity will get. If they are giving up 4,000 megawatts now and they replace all this with this nanomaterial, then we'll get 8,000. More than twice. The difference is that ACCR wire is based on the use of aluminum processed in new ways to create high performance and reliable overhead conductor that retains strength at high temperature. Can you see it? It retains strength at high temperatures and are not adversely affected by environmental conditions. They are not. They are not affected by it at all. The ACCR wire strength and durability derive its nanocrystalline aluminum oxide fibers, which are embedded in the high purity 3M aluminum matrix core wires using a painted process. The constituent materials are chemically inert with respect to each other and can withstand extreme temperatures without chemical reaction taking place or any loss in strength. I'm rounding up with the distribution. Most locations in Nigeria, the distribution network is poor, the voltage profile is poor, and the billing is inaccurate. Thank God we are having, what's it called now, prepaid. Even despite the prepaid, there are hidden charges. Whether you use it, you don't use it, you pay. You pay something every month. Because they're expecting you. The moment you are loading like this, they remove some charges before they give you the required units. As the department which interfaces with the public, I'm rounding up. They need to ensure adequate network coverage and provision of quality power supply, in addition to efficient marketing and customer service delivery, cannot be overemphasized. We have problems such as weak, inadequate network coverage, overloaded transformers, and bad feeder pin. substandard distribution lines, inadequate logistic facilities. All these, they are problem on distribution. After they have generated to distribute is a problem. Now, suitable energy storage is critical to the increased use of renewable energies, particularly solar and wind. Nanotechnology comes in now. It plays a role in distributing the generation, development of cost-effective storage in batteries, capacitors, and also the fuel cells. Ability to increase the energy output from a given amount of material means not only the battery could become more powerful, but also the smaller and lighter battery could be developed for a wider range of applications. Not as big as the battery is that we have the storage. But in the current one we have now, is as your battery is big, that is how the capacity of the storage is. But with the use of nanotechnology material, your battery might be small, and it will store fast. You will call it akere oshekini okoro. Akere koro. So that is what nanotechnology is. Small, but mighty. The battery technology can also be used for glassy materials, and the nanostructural materials will also increase the useful lifetime of the battery. Presently, capacitor electrodes have been covered with millions of nanotubes. I mentioned nanotubes the other time, to increase electrode surface area and thus the amount of energy that can hold. Yes? Yes, the conclusion. The United States of America, China, Japan, and the European Union are in the driving seat of this new technology. The African continent remains missing in the several thousand patents. An article published yearly on nanotechnology. We don't have any patents. We hardly see anybody working on publishing anything on nanotechnology. We are backward completely, especially the Africa. And when we talk of Africa, the first person we think of is Nigeria. So if Nigeria is not doing anything, that means Africa is zero. With the United Nations projection that Nigeria's population will surpass that of the United States by 2050 because of the way we give birth to children. Well, maybe because of this cash wahala money here and there, maybe some people will reduce the number of children they are giving birth to. But because of the rate we give birth, they say in 2050 that will become the third largest country with more than 401 million citizens. We are just over 200 million now. We foresee tremendous pressure on food by that time. That is why we have to go into the research. We have to go into the research. In the next 10 years, we begin to see pressure on our food, pressure on animal food, on agricultural product, pressure on transportation, pressure on healthcare, pressures on energy, pressure on electricity. As we are now, we have pressure. And if nothing, then there increase in number. In the next 10 years will be more than this. And if nothing is being done, the thing that we will eat is not enough for us. Now, those people that are coming, maybe 50 million, they will join us in order to use it along with us. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on the materials, energy resources, if strategic and methodological technologies are not enforced towards the sustainable optimization of these resources. So I want to challenge every one of us in the house that we have to take these things serious. We appeal to Nigeria, the federal, the state, and the local government that they should provide funds for research on nanotechnology and provide a conducive atmosphere for adaptation of the technology in Nigeria. It has a greater things to solve. Thank you for your rapt attention.
Thank much, Professor. This loaded information on nanotechnology exploitation in our era. Indeed, there is plenty of room at the bottom. Professor Coker told us to open our mind and learn how to think ahead.
Let's put our hands together as the Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, and the librarian takes the leaves. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much for the honor. Thank you, sir.
Professor Jeo Coker told us to open our mind at the beginning of this lecture to learn how to think ahead in nanotechnology research making, and that we will do to enhance researches more in our part of the world. Please let's join our hands in appreciation. Him again, please. Now I'll be inviting Adeni Akoni to give us the summary of the first lecture.
Thank you very much. I want to see this as a... Okay, so before I proceed, so I want to call on my gentle professors. Professor Egwins, please. Please come up. Let's give him a round of applause. And he will be closely followed by Professor Ajayi. You can do it better. Professor Orukoto will join the trade. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, I feel so honored and privileged to give a summary of what our professor has given us. He has actually done justice to the topic, and then he has succeeded, among other things, to open up, I want to say, research areas to, diverse array of people, since that's, what the future holds. He's been able to tell us, to convince us that this nanotechnology material we're talking about today has diverse usage, especially judging from the strengths. Why we go for iron or for other metals has been because they are so strong. Much more than this is the nanotechnology materials. That they are so strong, not just being strong, they are not as heavy as metal, other ones like iron. So, in terms of strength, beautiful. In terms of even conduction, because we know metals, we're told, 5 to 7, they are good. These ones are not metal, these ones are 1 to 3 metals, this one. So, but he has been able to convince us that with nanotechnology materials, you have good conductors of electricity in them, put together. And he has told us as well that these materials are very useful in military formations. They can, that can always be used. In security, we get to Niger Delta and you see our pipes being vandalized. In advanced countries, they spend dollars to protect, their resources. Their own might not be oil, as we have as a problem here. There are other materials, and so all those cyber-physical materials are protected with all these materials called nanotechnology materials. And he has equally told us, if we want to monitor, it will give us good sense of... Prof, I equally want to add to it that you are not the only one in this area of breakdown and all that. Your one is even better because it happened while you are within your vicinity. A cousin of mine just went to, I will not mention the place, so that, so he went to this and he got there and the car had a problem. He was actually stranded. he got there and starting the engine, tried and tried and tried. In a very, not Lagos, so got to another village. And the man said, what will I do? They invited the first mechanic, like Prof also invited. They check battery, check everything. But this one, they didn't even see. The man was just going round about and going round. He told my uncle, Boga, why would you also buy a car without an engine? That this car does not have engine just because the man did not know where to put hands. But with nanotechnology, sense become a lot easier. So they can always, do sense. It's bringing up this for us to consider that if advanced countries are making headway, what are we doing? That the future holds so much about nanotechnology. If we queue into it, the better for us. The earlier we queue into it, the better for us. In terms of power generation, when growing up, we see an advert on the dailies. Electricity no get leg, na carbon meter make am. Just years back then. But even those carbon meters are nowhere to be found. All those companies had already folded up. And so we need to look elsewhere to see how power could be generated, one, how power could be transmitted, and even distribution aspect of it. Get to Lagos Island, you will marvel. And whether we know it or not, Prof was saying there will be some charges that you wouldn't even know because somebody has to pay for it. Somebody has to pay for whatever somebody else is using. There are places on the island, you just be seeing wires flying here and there, no meter. They are not metered, no way to account for those electricity, consumed. And so, those of us who have prepaid meters, we know we will have to pay much more than we bargained for. So, that if our money is going out, we should know where it's going. But if we need to overcome such, then let's put our hearts together. Let's put our thinking cap together and work towards technology. So that's the challenge for you and I. Even without warning us, we know we have to reduce, we have to monitor our procreational activity. Prof, you have told us. So we reduce childbearing. Some of us, we have stopped and so on. So others coming up also take a toll. Know that you are not expected to help achieve that goal of by 2050 that will be much more than US because of the rate at which we give birth. So we have heard from the Prof, and we'll give a little time for questions. But before I do that, put your hands together again for Prof. Please put your hands together again for our Professor Joseph Coker. Please put your hands together. I'm waiting for somebody to clap. And until that is done, I'm still waiting for you. Please clap. Okay, thank you very much. I've seen you. Yes, thank you very much. God bless you. We want to give a little time for questions. If you have questions, please feel free to raise up your hand. I want to take from the students first. Then we'll come to our daddies on the high table. So, yes, questions. Questions. I know people from chemistry will want to ask questions. So, okay, chemistry. Okay, somebody said microbiology. Okay, yes. So, this is how we're going to do it. Please tell us your name, tell us your department or your program, in case you have more than one. Okay, in that. So, mic for our gentle lady. Please come forward. Use this.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, sir, for your presentation. My question is, can the use of graphene at an atomic level through a technique like molecular doping, can it be used for new technological possibilities that can push the boundaries of the existing technologies? And if it can, what are some hypothetical applications of an advanced graphene system? Oh, my name is Yemi Adenga Oluwalunimi from Biochemistry Department. Question. Okay, I said, can the use of graphene at an atomic level through a technique like molecular doping be used to review new technological possibilities? And if it can, what are hypothetical applications of an advanced graphene system?
From you, thank you very much. Another question. This is a beautiful one from biochemistry. Yes. Any other one before you respond, so that Prof will take that together. Okay. So I hand the mic over to our Prof. Thank you, sir. Prof, yes, please.
Before my question, I want to introduce the HOD physics from Lagos State University. Dr. Onanoga, thank you very much for coming. Thank you, sir. Now, my question is this. It's not a question really, but it's just a kind of confusions at times. See, I don't understand what is. I now want to believe that we are not under course. Because sometimes when you look at us, you have all the facilities, the life better for your people. Nobody is about how to harness them for the betterment of our people. What we only think about here is these dirty politics that we do here. Somebody, and then after that, they collect the money and share the money. You understand? That's the only thing we think about. But when we go out of the country and we see what is going on, what they do, funny enough, sir, it will interest you to tell you that most of that are working in these laboratories or in these industries in abroad, they are people, us, our people that are working there. Now, when you have our people, they are the one doing these things. When they do it, they take it and come and sell it. We have our own children, we have our own people here with this knowledge. But yet we keep talking about it. Nobody is doing anything. Even the university, so it's a pity that the Vice Chancellor is not here. The is have their appointment, start collecting. After the salary, nothing. So, this will continue talking about it. Universities are not doing anything. If you look at university, look at the budget of the university, it's not tending towards research. That's why I said the VC is not here. It needs towards research. Because normally we know. Don't let us deceive ourselves. We cannot exist without science. We can't. It happens during COVID. All of us, we saw it. When COVID-19 struck that time, year 2020, the whole world turned to science. Every day they start counting, 1,000 have died today, 100,000 is going to die tomorrow, this and that. Everybody closed down and turned to science. Science saved us. That is what happened that time. Yet, university in Nigeria in particular, we are not really interested in putting money down for research. And without research, we just continue to be talking about theory. And once we are talking about theory, there will be nothing. So that is why the advanced world, they are drawing our people, our children, educated people, they are drawing them over. Since your people are not going to do anything. Funny enough, we have the materials, resources, mineral resources, they are here. They come here, they take them to their place, they do it. Take a look at crude oil. They take to their country, and when they refine, they get all other things, and then they send back to us. So is this how we will continue? So it's a big question to all of us. That's why sometimes I wonder, is there any problem with black men, black people? Is there any problem? You understand? Thank you very much.
To the question asked by the student in biochemistry, yes, it's possible. Because when you look at graphene, we said that it has a high conductivity, especially for electricity, for current. Now, in doping, you have to look at the energy gap, look at the energies that you want to start with and the one you want to end up with. So that would be the formation. What is your target? You firstly define your target. This is my target. Okay? Where do I start from? And how do I get to the target? What type of energy will I start off? What is the value of the current that I have to use? And then when I input it, what am I going to get at the end of the day? So now we bring in the methodology that we are going to make use of. And getting your methodology, you can Google and get different methods. And when you look at the different methods, from there, you now say, okay, this one seems to go in line with my targets that I'm after. And since it's going in line with my target, let me try this method. Someone that I've made use of it before, how did he use it? Okay? And then when he used it, what was the result he got? Am I satisfied with that result? And by the time you are looking at that method, you do something funny. You change the method in a way. Maybe according to the measurement you made use of, or the number of energy you use, or the quantity of things you use, you change it. You vary it. So when you vary it, you want to see whether you get the same result or not. And if you don't get the same result, so that will give you leadway that yes, if I do it this way, then I'm expected to get this. And along the line, you discover many things. When you do a research, in research, you are focused. This is where you are going. And you preempt what you want to get. But what we call good research in its own form is that you will see that along the way, things will just change. You are not really getting what you think you want to get. Yes, be comfortable. So far, you know that the method you apply and you have done justice to it. Continue. There might be a reason. We call something features. You take care of features when you are doing research. So the features you make use of, at the end of the day, when you get different results, from there you can now pin it to the features. And you can use that one to explain. And that is what we call new discovery. You can never discover new things in life if you don't do it in a new way. There's another that says that if you continue to do the same thing the same way, and you expect to get the same result, it's a lie. You won't get the same result. So you have to look at new way. You vary it. So from there, you can now find out, okay, where am I getting this and where I'm not getting this. As a field man in geophysics, I don't need to follow you to the field when you go and acquire data. In geophysics, we have something we call data acquisition. Is 3 processes: data acquisition, data processing, and data interpretation, which is your final result. Fine. If you acquire wrong data, you are going to have wrong interpretation, wrong processing. And that wrong processing will take you to wrong interpretation, and everything will be wrong. If you go to the field, I will check, where did you go to? What type of terrain is it? Is it basement crystalline? Is it a sedimentary terrain or is it a transition zone? The moment I know where you are going to, when you do your data acquisition without me being involved, you go with the feed operator, you go with the feed people, you go with the equipment. You come back, I look at your result. I can tell you that you have wrong acquisition. Because most of the time, the student want to follow the same way others, or what he has read, or may want to use the same value, the same what have you. Okay. And in order not to say, where am I getting different something? My something is towards another side. It's not going in line of others that are expected. No, it doesn't need to go in line with others that were expected. So what I'm saying, nonsense, is that into a research, open up your mind. Don't really want to adjust or to, how do I call it, to corner. Make sure that you just do it normally. Apply the normal methods. You can apply 2 or 3 methods. At the end of the day, you compare. And from there, you can say categorically that this method is best than this method because of what I did. This is how I did it, and this is what I did. So you affirm it, no matter the results,